Welcome to Cuckoo Crazy Crochet. Hi, my name is Ronnie and today we're going to make this tiny turtle. What you will need: a pair of scissors, a 3.5mm hook, a darning needle, a stitch marker, a pair of 6mm eyes. You will also need a little bit of green yarn, a little bit of tan yarn, and some fiber fill. Get your yarn, get your tan yarn and your hook ready, and we'll begin. Okay, we need to make a magic circle first off. If you don't like the way I do my magic circles, you can chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain to make a circle. I really don't like using this tiny yarn and tiny hook, but I got an order of a set of 6 tiny turtles, so maybe I can get used to it. Anyway, we need 5 single crochets in the magic circle. Once you have your 5 single crochets, you may close up your circle. I will be crocheting over my tail, so I don't have to worry about it later. Now we need to put 2 single crochets in each of those single crochets. Doing the magic circle this way sometimes makes it really hard in getting into that first stitch. Especially when you're not used to the yarn. You should now have 10 stitches all the way around. And I placed my stitch marker in the last single crochet I did. Rounds 3 to 5, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch round. At the end of each stitch, you should still have 10 single crochets. On this round, you should notice that the yarn is starting to curl in. This is normal. Just push it right side out. When I get done with my rounds, I will be back to show you what's next. Okay, coming up in the last 2 stitches. Now we're going to put the eyes in. And this is what you should have so far. You're going to put the eyes in between rows 2 and 3. If you don't know where 2 and 3, where the rows 2 and 3 is, I can show you. Starting up here with the magic ring. This is going to be row 1. You can tell by the bumps that go that way. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. So we want to go in between 2 and 3. So it would be this row here, right after 2. I'll put my eyes in and then I'll show you where they're at. Okay, this is where I've placed my eyes. Straight across from each other. If this head was any smaller, there wouldn't be room for his eyes, nor the stuffing. So there's one more row, be row 6, and we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. This tiny yarn does make it difficult to crochet, but with patience, it will get done. I'm at my last stitch. In the very next stitch, we're going to slip stitch and chain 1 and then fasten off. Once you have the head done, you do need to stuff it just a little bit. take we don't need this tail, so I'm gonna just hide it in the stuffing. Once you've got it hidden, pull tight and fasten off. And this is what your tiny little head should look like. Okay, set it aside. We're going to do the body next. We're going to use the same color. Need a magic ring. With 6 single crochets inside of it. You can close it up when you've got them. In each of the single crochets, you need to place 2 single crochets. You should now have 12 stitches around. Place your stitch marker in the last stitch. Round 3. We're going to place 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the following stitch. One single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochets in the following stitch. This is your repeat all the way around. When I get done with mine, I'll return. Okay, I've made it to the end, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut off this tail. You should now have 18 stitches around. round 4, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of the round, you should still have 18 stitches. Okay, I'm on the last stitch. Once I get to this part, I just stretch out the circle a little bit. So it looks like that. Now it's going to get a little complicated. Round 5. Put 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Chain 4. I turn it over and I work in the back bumps, but you don't have to. Put 1 single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. In the third one, put 1 double crochet. In that last chain, put 1 single crochet. Put 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Chain 4. And place your 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, one single crochet. If you're wondering, we're making the legs or the feet. 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Whoops. Chain 4. One single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet. Now we're going to crochet the head on. So put your hook in the next stitch and pick up your head. we're going to crochet the head on between the eyes. There should be 5 stitches there. And we're just going to place 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Make sure you're going through the body and the head. I don't know if you can see that. My camera's kind of foggy today. Three. I'm going to have to remove the stitch marker. 4 and 5. Chain 4. I hope you was able to follow along there. Place your single crochet, your double crochet, just a minute. I'll be back. Sorry about that. I splitted the yarn and had a mess. Okay, double crochet. And then single crochet. Single crochet in the next stitch. In the following stitch, place a slip stitch and chain 1. And fasten off. And pull on your little feet. Straighten them out. So far, this is what you should have. Four little feet, a body, and a head. So set that aside. And put up your tan yarn and get your green yarn out, and I'll be back. Alright, time to make the shell. The shell is kind of like the body. So you need a magic ring, of course. And 6 single crochet in the magic ring. Sorry about that, I messed up. once you're done, close up your magic ring. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. You should now have 12 stitches around. Round 3. In the first stitch, 1 single crochet. In the second stitch, 2 single crochet. One single crochet, 2 single crochet. This is your repeat for this round. One single crochet, 2 single crochet. Just coming up on my last stitch. You should be putting 2 single crochets in your last stitch. And now you have 18 stitches around. Rows 4 and 5, we're just going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of each stitches, I'm so sorry, can't believe I just said that. At the end of each round, you should still have 18 stitches. Your shell will start curling in. Just remember to turn it right side out. When I get done with my 5th round, I will be back. Just coming up on my last stitch. In the next stitch, slip stitch and then chain 1. Leave a long tail for sewing. And this is what your shell should look like. So now we have the body done and the shell done. It's time to sew them together. Alright, now we're going to sew the shell onto the body. So I match up the ends and I just place the shell on the body like this. Don't worry about stuffing, we'll stuff it later. So I went down into the tan yarn, into the body, and you pick up a stitch, and you pick up the same stitch on the shell. Now I got a yarn mess. It helps to keep the tan yarn away so you can wrap it around your head and that'll keep it out of your way. You go back down through the shell into the body. And you pretty much just do this all the way around. So I will continue sewing on it until I get over here on the third leg, and when I get done, I'll return. Alright, so now it's time to sew on the head. In order, by sewing it like this, you see on the back, sorry, a fuzzy went up my nose. You have green showing through, and that's all right. And you can continue and sew like we have been sewing and have the green go across the neck. That's not how I want to do mine. So I'm going to go through and pick up the stitches on my head, and then I'm going to go down and go back into the same stitch on the shell. What that will do is, see, it'll pull the head underneath the shell. So come over to your green and go in the green, find your stitches on the head and go through it. Wrap your yarn around the stitches on your head and go under the stitches on the shell. I really hope that makes sense. It made sense in my head, but it didn't make sense when it came out of my mouth. So I hope you'll understand. Or I hope you can see what I'm doing. Once you get completely around, we're going to go through the shell and down to the bottom of your body. And drop your green yarn, pick up your tan yarn. You don't have to do this next part. You can just fasten off your green yarn after you hide your yarn in your shell. But this is how I do my turtles. So I come down in the tan and I find where the excuse me, where the magic ring is. And I come up in between the magic ring and the first row. And then I go stitch straight across and go back down and come out somewhere else and pull tight. Then I find another hole in between the stitches, the first row and the magic ring. Whoops. You're putting like a crisscross on the bottom of the turtle shell. This will help it sit still or sit right. Then I bring my yarn over to the green and I double knot the two. That guarantees that it won't come undone. And now I'm going to hide both of my yarn ends in the body. And pull that knot through. And once you've hidden it enough, pull tight and cut your yarn. So this is what you should have now, a teeny tiny turtle. And get my tape measure. Tape. He will be about 3 inches long. And about 2 inches wide. So there you have it. Teeny tiny turtle. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified of every video that I place, that I post. I'm sorry. Please like, and share if possible. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there and have a good night. Bye!